In this episode of the Indulge Podcast, we are in conversation with celebrity chef Sashi Cheliah. The MasterChef Australia winner chats with us about a new project themed around Peranakan cuisine, his earliest food memories, how his former career in law enforcement helps in running a kitchen, and a whole lot more. Here we go. Welcome to the Indulge Podcast.
Thanks for
This is so exciting for me. We've met a couple of times.
Yes, yeah.
I've eaten your delicious food.
Thank you.
And this is the first time we're doing this on video, so I'm really excited. I've got some fun questions in store.
That makes me nervous.
But you've done this hundreds of times as a MasterChef winner, so yeah.
I'm still looking at the number of questions you have over there. It's like a long essay over there.
Don't peek, okay. So, what is in store for folks in Chennai with the Pandan Club? It's the hottest new place in town. You've been working on this for a few months now. You've been staying here, managing operations.
I've been here for a month now, training the guys. But this whole project has been running for easily 9 months. From the time we have decided what we want to do, till the mood board, the cuisine selection, the recipe selection. There was a lot of thought process has gone into it. So we are trying to give Chennai a 5-star experience out of a hotel. We want a standalone restaurant that everybody can come in, dine in, enjoy a good service, amazing food, drinks, and the ambience. So we are trying to create a full package that is available in a standalone restaurant, which I feel there's only limited choices in Chennai, and we would love to create that. And when it comes to food, I'm all about flavors. I'll make sure there is some robust, some burst of flavors in the food. Plating, I don't like individual plates, so I prefer everything to be shared. Sharing is caring, so everybody wants to share.
Sharing is caring, I like that.
Yeah, everyone wants to share bits and pieces. That's where you interact more with people. Like, for example, I'm going to give a bowl of curries. Everyone going to take a bit, going to be serving someone. There will be a lot of interaction. I like the buzz in the kitchen as well as in the restaurant. And
you've chosen a very specific cuisine.
Yes.
That isn't easily available.
Yes.
You've chosen Peranakan cuisine or Nonya cuisine. Were you, when you were doing your initial back and forth with your partners, were you like thinking to yourself, was it a maybe? Because you were thinking, will it work? Will people want to experiment?
On the early stages when we were planning what to bring to Chennai, we were looking at bringing something similar to Gaja. That was the plan we were leaning towards. But Gaja is Asian inspired, so it's a bit more experimental, a bit more playful kind of a concept. But when you talk about Asian, there's a lot available in Chennai at the moment. You have Japanese, you have Thai.
We are hopping with Pan-Asian restaurants.
Yes.
Which is why this is really different.
So then we streamlined to instead of going Asian in general, let's go a cuisine focus. Something that is familiar to Chennai, but is also different. That is not available anywhere in Chennai. Then later down the road, we realized that Peranakan cuisine is not available in India at all. So we are the first Peranakan or modern Peranakan based restaurant in India.
Modern Peranakan because of
about the interior, about the way that it's plated. Like we have put a lot of thought process right down to these plates. These are all specifically designed.
All customized.
Yeah, all customized for our restaurant based on the food and how we want people to consume. Seems like you're enjoying the crafted drinks. Even these drinks also, it's all based on what is available in the kitchen. So what goes into the food also goes into the drinks. One of our partners, Manoj, he has put a lot of thought process. So that is an inspiration from chendol. This is an inspiration from a sugarcane drink that you can get widely available. But we have put our spin to it. So we want Chennai to experience Peranakan cuisine, but in a very modern, comfortable environment.
In a very modern aesthetic, so to speak.
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. And for the benefit of our guests, can you tell us what exactly Peranakan cuisine is in terms of heritage, where it comes from?
Okay, Peranakan, it goes back to 15th century when a group of Chinese migrants came down to Malaya and adopted the Malay culture At the same time, they adopted the other cultures. So they embraces the Indian ingredients. They embrace the European influence. So they are a mix of cuisines and influence. But mainly Chinese people who adopted the Malay culture.
All right. Are there some key ingredients that you can tell us
There
about?
is some unique ingredients. There's a lot of fermented products that they love to use. Like we use fermented soybean in our cuisine. We use fermented black nuts, candle nuts, special palm sugar called gula melaka.
And you won't find these in other Asian cuisines.
No, you don't. Right, gula melaka you find it commonly in Malay cuisine. Candle nut you do, but fermented ingredients only specific to this cuisine. Yeah, they don't like Malays. They don't use much fermented ingredients other than shrimp paste. That is pretty common. Indian cuisines, other than pickles, we don't really go into much fermentations and all that. But these particular people, they like soybean.
How fermented are we talking though? Like that's an art, right?
Yeah, it's an art. But
how many days are we talking?
Oh, it goes.
Give me one example of any one ingredient.
Okay, the shrimp paste. Okay. But sadly, some of the things we are not fermenting here. We don't have those kind of facilities here. Like fermented shrimp paste is fermented for weeks and is made into blocks. So it comes in a paste form, or belacan, it is in a block.
So that's what's giving the food the
umami,
depth of
that
flavor.
Depth of flavor, that little bit of that funk, we call it. It's a new term that I like to use is funk. It's very funky because umami is becoming so broadly used.
Such a pop cultural term now.
Yeah. So now I like to use the word funk. So it's a bit funk there, playful take on fermented ingredients. So it's new. It's new to Chennai.
And what's the, you've been open how many weeks now? 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
Less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks,
Less than 2 weeks.
So my favorite was the black nut. I tried the black nut jackfruit curry.
Yes.
I want to try it with lamb soon.
You should.
What has been the general consensus in terms of like the hottest seller so far?
Hottest seller, I can't say that now because I'm doing like a tasting menu at the moment. So I'm giving the taste of Peranakan to Chennai. The way it's consumed, the way you need to order, I'm trying to educate and introduce to the Chennai audience, so that the moment we introduce our a la carte menu, all the diners know exactly how it should be ordered based on the portion size and everything. But you are right, the black nut curry has been one of our favorites. Mm-hmm. The ikan bilis with sambal, chili, that's one of our favorites at the moment. Roti jala has been people giving raving reviews. I think everything has, like, someone likes this dish particularly, somebody else talks about something else. Even our ice cream sandwich.
That was one of my favorites.
It's not
soy caramel. Yeah. I don't want regular caramel now. Yeah.
Like,
that was
it's
definitely one of my favorites.
Not a very complex dessert. Yeah. Simple, very
toast, ice cream, soy caramel.
It's
sorted.
Anyone can do it at home, but when you have it in a plate right after that bold, robust meal, you need that comforting dessert to finish off your day. And there's a lot more desserts that in the menu that is simple, comforting, and everyone can relate to.
Yeah. What are the other desserts? Because I was looking for the desserts. Are you at liberty to tell?
Yeah, we can. I'm not going to tell fully. I'm going to just give you a sneak peek on what are the ingredients you're going to go with.
Okay.
We have one chocolate dessert. It's half baked.
Is it ready now? Okay.
It's ready now. We are selling it.
I can have it after the interview.
Yeah, you can.
Really?
I can get it for you. Then we have one dessert based on glutinous rice and blue pea flour. Mm-hmm. Then we are going back to a classic, traditional Malaysian Singaporean thing is paratha with condensed milk and ice cream.
Paratha with condensed milk and ice cream.
Yeah, it's a street food, but it's, oh my god. But we won't do the folding method. We will do the spiral method. Smash it, put a scoop of ice cream, drizzle it with condensed milk. It's sickly sweet, but it's
Oh, I can't wait. Okay. Now, is Peranakan cuisine, is it going, yes, please, I'm the only one drinking. Is Peranakan cuisine going to be like your identity, your focus in India, or are you planning to look at other cuisines as well?
Okay, for India, I think Peranakan is going to be my focus.
Okay.
If I'm opening another restaurant in any other part of India, I would love to, because it's something unique. They have not tried that before. But at the same time, I would like to try other cuisines, but in different part of the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Like
if I'm going back to Singapore, I would love to do something with Australian native ingredients, because Australian native ingredients is something that is close to me now. I love using that, so I'll try that. So different part of the world is not about what I want to do. I will always look into what people would love to have. Like, I will always look into things that, like in Chennai, Peranakan is not available. So it's a new experience.
Right.
So people want to try something new, not only in Chennai.
novelty cuisine
Yes,
to the respective
countries.
location.
Well, whatever is not available, something different. We are always looking at a point where, what can I give to the customer that is different? I don't want to be just another restaurant who's doing Asian cuisine, or another restaurant who does pastas. How different can we be? It can be experience, it can be the food, it can be the ambience, it can be anything, but we need to be different.
All right. One unique
touch. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Gaja has its own unique touch.
Is Gaja coming to India?
No, Gaja is only for Australia.
Okay.
Because
All right. It's like a set property, so which
Set
means it won't go anywhere else.
No.
Okay.
The Pandan Club is for India.
Okay.
But we will do something else in other countries with another name, maybe. It might change along the way. I don't know how it goes.
So we're going to shift gears a little bit now, and we're going to switch from the restaurant and your whole, avatar as chef. Tell me a little bit about the man behind the apron. Is this a question you get asked at all?
Not really. Like a lot of times, people read up on what is available online. Yeah, everyone knows that I used to be a copper. I've done some crazy stuff in my life. But at the same time, I'm also a very simple man. I don't like a lot of attention. That's how I used to be.
So you've had to get used to this.
Yes. It took me a couple of weeks, but the good thing about this is I adapt quickly.
Okay.
I adapt to changes very fast. It came with my job, I think. Okay. So we were taught to learn how to adapt to changes.
But I think when you think of law enforcement, adapting is more to climate and hardship and like your stamina.
Yes.
Very different from lights, camera, action.
Oh, but this also requires stamina, sitting down and talking for that long
Agreed.
time. And
Agreed, yeah.
Actually, camera is long hours. It can go on for 15, 16 hours a day. It's not an easy job.
No, I agree.
Yeah, likewise, kitchen also, it's 15, 16 hours, easily you'll be standing around working. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I try to keep myself very simple.
Okay.
I enjoy sitting down watching movies. That is my downtime. I love movies.
What kind of movies do you like?
Tamil movies.
Yeah?
I'm a massive hardcore movie junkie.
You got Ponniyin Selvan yet?
Not yet.
haven't got it yet either.
I'm waiting. I think Monday is off day, so I'm going to go for Ponniyin Selvan.
Right.
I'm a massive Kamal Haasan fan.
Okay. All right.
Just purely for his acting. So I love his movies. That is one movie I will just go and watch first day, first show. That kind of a guy.
Okay. No superheroes.
Oh, I'm a massive Marvel movie.
Yes. Oh,
Marvel movie, DC. Doesn't matter. As long as a super movie, me and the boys are there. And fast cars.
Fast cars. I didn't see that coming. Okay.
I love my cars.
All right. What do you have, if you don't
Okay, I'm driving a BMW at the
Okay.
moment. But I would have gone for the GTR or something like that. But I'm not in that age group where I can do that. But eventually I will get something like that.
Okay.
I love a two-seater fast car, but my wife hates it because it will mess up her hair. And having two big boys, we need space. So I'm driving an X4 now. So it's more like a family car.
All right.
But I love my cars.
Not bikes, just cars.
Bikes I used to love. I used to love scramblers back in my
Okay.
younger days.
Okay.
And my mom hates it, so in the end we all step away from that. But I like anything that got to do with adrenaline. I like doing that.
Okay.
I used to do skydiving. I used to do deep diving, deep sea diving. A lot of things I've done.
So it makes sense why you naturally sort of adapted in the kitchen as well, because
Yes.
it's so high adrenaline.
So high adrenaline, massive.
Is the fact that you were a police officer in your previous life, shall
Yeah.
we say, does that make you like a real taskmaster in the kitchen?
So to a certain extent, yes, I'm very task orientated, and coming into an industry that is totally alien to me, I'm not a trained chef. I came into this industry right after MasterChef without knowing the trade. So I learned everything from the scratch, from the professionals. So I was in an age group where I can't start from ground zero, going into a kitchen hand, chopping onions and all that. That will not work for me. So I end up learning the basics from professionals from the industry, set up a restaurant, hired people with years and years of experience, and I picked their brains. Then I created a new set of terms and conditions in my kitchen based on how I want things to be run.
Oh, give me a few. What are some of the rules?
I love live kitchens. I don't
Okay.
like behind the door kind of a concept. I want my
Okay.
customers to see what they're consuming. But that puts a kind of discipline on the chefs.
Right.
You can't be yelling and screaming. You can't be throwing things around.
So it's regulating in some sense.
Yes. To a certain extent, you need to have like pin drop silence in the kitchen sometimes. Everybody need to know exactly what they're doing. So a lot of coordination is involved. A lot of teamwork is involved. Just by reading the docket or KOT, there's only one man giving command and control. So there's a lot of, it was happening in the industry, but the part where keeping silent and coordinating with each other, that is something that I used to do in my days in special ops, where we don't communicate with each other, but just by my movement, my partner will understand what my action is going to be. So that is a level of training and expertise that I was looking for. So
That's impressive, but how do you replicate that in the kitchen? Like, kitchens are loud places where there's flame and there's, chopping and there's like yelling, like, this for this table.
Yeah.
At least that's how it's portrayed when you do like a zoom in shot in a movie.
I believe in muscle memory. If you repeatedly do something over and over again for a certain period of time, it becomes second nature. So that's what happens with this kitchen also. They've been training with us for a month. But obviously, the moment when customers started coming, that will be another level of stress. But you need to plan ahead. 7 o'clock, the service is going to start. You should be 1 hour ahead of time. Everything is organized, everything is tasted. You are ready for service. Not when customers coming, you are doing your prep. So these are a lot of things that I kept in place, what I've learned, and my life skill from my previous job, I brought it along together with me. And I'm always open to learning. I think that is a crucial thing. I can be the person who is creating the dishes, but I will not be in the kitchen, running the kitchen on a day-to-day basis. So I need to understand the pros and cons, what's happening in the kitchen to run the kitchen. So there's a lot of things goes around.
This question just came to me. I was thinking, as you were describing all of these bits that you've taken from law enforcement and incorporated in the kitchen, but also in MasterChef, you got to interact with all of these big chefs.
Yes.
You got like a huge compliment from Gordon Ramsay, and then your first stint on MasterChef, you were with the original three judges, yeah. So you sort of got exposed to these different personalities of chefs.
Yes.
And then at some point, did you consciously or unconsciously think in the back of your head, so I'm going to take on that avatar because that would sort of suit me best.
Okay.
So did you
Talking
think-
about it,
yeah.
Since day one, I like Gordon Ramsay for a very simple reason. He's as regimental as I am. I like the way people might see him screaming and yelling in TV, but that is TV. Kitchen is run in a different manner, and I also like the way he runs business. He has built an amazing empire around the world with his food. So that is an inspiration for me. So that is where I'm also leaning towards. I love cooking, but I don't want to be stuck in one place. I want to expand my wings.
So you are super feared in the kitchen then?
No, I'm not. I hardly yell or scream in the kitchen, but
Okay.
I'm firm. I
Alright.
know that if this needs to be done this way, I'll make sure it's done this way. If the meat is overcooked, I'll send back. If you need to throw, I'll throw it away.
Right.
My suppliers, if they send me a prawn that is not up to my requirement, I'll send it back away. I don't give anything but the best. That is my philosophy.
So if anyone messes up, you don't say anything, but you can cut the tension in the room with a knife.
Sort of.
Um,
Mine is very simple. If I don't like, I'll just get it out of my way.
How do you stay fit? You're eating all the time, you're tasting all the time, high stress environment, have to
Yep.
be here, when it's not meal hours as well.
Okay,
Then
I'm a
you're
little bit
traveling.
blessed to be like this because I don't exercise as much as what I used to do 4 years ago. The last 4 years, my fitness regime is very bad. I'm trying to come back to my fitness, but it's very hard. I'm traveling a lot, so I'm trying as much as possible to come back. But when it comes to diet, yes, I control my diet.
Okay.
We try and taste a lot, but I don't do irregular meals. I try not to eat late night. That is one thing I'm very cautious about, but sometimes you can't. I like to do a bit of that intermittent fasting kind of a thing.
Right.
So I don't eat a lot during that night. I don't do junk meals at night or daytime. So that keeps me within my weight. I need to feel light.
Right.
The moment the problem I have in India is everybody feeds you a lot.
It's a good problem to
It's
have.
a good problem to have, but you get too big. Like my first 2 weeks in India, in the last 4 weeks,
Right.
I gained weight. Then consciously I had to stop.
That's what happens when you eat. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to stop consciously.
No, but I am curious, what is the workout routine of someone in law enforcement and, now like head chef, celebrity chef? What does that look like? That's such an interesting amalgam.
10 years ago, if
Yeah.
you had asked me, my fitness regime is too good.
Right.
Like weekly, I was doing 50, 60 kilometers.
Okay.
That's 40 to 50 kilometers on a weekly basis. There will be weight training involved. Like literally 6 days a week,
Right.
I got my fitness regime. But obviously, after I left the special forces, it was totally different. I was a bit more relaxed, but I still used to do at least 3 or 4 times a week, running and gym and all that. And the moment I go MasterChef,
Right.
but in the MasterChef house, I had some time to do fitness.
Right.
So we'll be having fun with each other, training and all that. But nowadays, I love swimming.
Okay.
So that it's not high intensity, but at the same time, it just keeps you relaxed and gets you refreshed for the day.
And keeps you in a zone, in a sense.
It does.
Right.
So whichever hotel I go to, when I stay, that's one of the easiest thing to do.
Did you swim this morning?
Not this morning,
Okay.
but yesterday I swam.
Skipped your workout today.
Today I had my sleepover today. Because I had a late night, so I had a sleepover. Today I skipped my swimming.
Anything else that you recommend? This is a big one. I mean, I
I realized that in the industry
This
early
is a
stage.
huge one,
Yeah.
and just in terms of like
So for
mental
chefs,
health as well.
yes, for chefs, the biggest problem is that irregular hours because they start very early, they finish very late. They hardly have proper meal breaks, and they hardly have any social life other than.
Do you have any advice for young chefs entering who are like, I want to be an executive chef at 40? And then, it's a very stressful lifestyle, especially in
like for me, I'm encouraging my team to go for breaks.
Okay.
I'm encouraging to take their offs. I'm regularly checking whether they have had their meals. So these are the few things that I really focus on, and I really encourage them to go out. This because the moment you are stuck in one place, you are like a frog in a well. You don't
can't see outside the world.
Can't see outside. You'll be just stuck into that. You need to travel. You need to go around, look at things. That's where you learn. So as much as possible, I'm encouraging that to go and learn. If you want to travel to other places to learn about the cuisines, go and take up something else other than food. Sometimes if you do too much of one thing, you'll get bored. Then you will lose your creativity. You need to have another avenue of interest. These are a few things. But if you want to become an executive chef at the age of 40, you need to burn a lot of candlelight. A lot. It's a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of motivation. A lot of motivation. Yeah. And confidence.
So we've talked, in bits and pieces about MasterChef, but we haven't really dug in. And that's a huge part of your story that sort of changed everything. How has MasterChef Australia changed your life?
I think everyone knows. From where I was as a prison officer, my last career, to what I'm doing as an entrepreneur, restaurateur, name it. I'm wearing a couple of hats at the moment. But it gave me the doorway. It just opened up so many doors and opportunities for me. It put me on a spot where a lot of people were able to see. Not only in Australia, globally. So you have opened a global platform for me. And I'm just tapping into that. I'm meeting new people. Really, it's good. It's a very interesting platform that has set for me. The only thing is, I'm not spending much time at home. That is the only disadvantage. Other than that, everything has been amazing for me so far.
But I feel like, sitting on this side as an interviewer and from the media, we all, everyone was following the show, so we all saw you win. It was a big moment. And then everything changed in terms of visibility, right? But for you on a day-to-day basis, how did your days start looking different?
Was it during MasterChef or now?
No, MasterChef winning and then after. Can you tell us what a before and after looks like, just in terms of the rundown of your day? You're a simple man.
Before MasterChef, every morning I wake up, have my breakfast, get on my uniform, off to work, in the office, doing all my work, go and visit the prisoners, do some report takings, interviewing them, coming back home for lunch. Then going back to work again.
So schedules, fixed, planned.
Then evenings, spend time with the family. Weekends, out and about with family. That a basic standard lifestyle. Shoppings and all that. No, pretty much stand like how an office work will be. But after MasterChef, middle of the night, wake up, going to the airport, taking a flight, going to another city, doing a show, cooking demo, hop on the plane, coming back home. It's, you name it. My day is not fixed at all. Like today, I'll be doing something different compared to yesterday. This week, I might be in one country. Next week, I'll be in another country. So it became, I won't say a chaos. It's a good mess.
I like that, a good mess. What's your secret to adaptability? You said that you've gotten good at being adaptable, but is there a little nugget of wisdom in there that we haven't yet explored?
I think it's individual's personality. I have been used to adapting, and I'm always looking at the positive side of everything. I try not to look at the negativity of anything. If something is happening, is for the good of something.
Right.
So that positivity is the one that keeps me moving. Even for COVID,
Right.
it was a terrible time for hospitality. But on the hindsight, it also helped me to put a lot of processes in place. I was able to eliminate a lot of unnecessary expenditures in the restaurant. I was able to put in new processes in place. I was able to spend some good quality time with the family for 3 months. So there was a lot of things that was done that which could not been done if not for COVID.
If you didn't have that
Yeah,
deep
I
focus.
didn't have the space to breathe. The moment I won the competition, back to back, I was doing things. There wasn't any space to breathe. So COVID gave the space to breathe, but the only problem with COVID was it lasted for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of too much for a lot of us.
Apart from the systems and processes, did you also spend time recipe developing?
Not really. As hospitality industry got affected badly, a lot of restaurateurs became businessmen. We were looking into how to sustain and survive the pandemic. We were not looking at creativity.
Right.
For us, survival was more important than creativity. So I was losing a lot on designing, being experimental and all that.
Right.
Yeah. So it was pretty hard on my creativity back then.
How did you get that back? How did you
I think
sort of reboot?
my last season 14 MasterChef was my reboot. I went back into the show to reaffirm myself and reassure that why am I here in this whole food industry for? So it just kickstarted my creativity back again.
What's the answer you got?
Pandan Club. Nah, it's opened up a lot of doorways. It has also put us back in the global map again. It made me think out of the box again. I'm not within my own circle where I get to looking at how to survive. Now I'm looking at how to create new things. It has put me back in shape again. I think every now and then we need a bit of reality check.
Yeah.
So season 14 gave me that reality check.
Awesome. Let's take it back even further.
Yep.
Let's go back to when you were, say, 7 or 8.
7 or 8 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So we've done MasterChef, we've done the pandemic, and now I'm saying let's take it all the way back. What kind of food did you grow up eating?
7 and 8 years old, I got some very fond memories of food because back then my school is just around the corner from where we were living. So during lunchtime, I don't buy food from the canteen.
Okay.
My mom or my aunt will bring food for us.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
They will bring food for us. I mean, us means because my friends also will join us. Like there's one, I still remember, it's a big tree in a very old school. So that's where I used to hang around and...
You'd sit under like a banyan tree.
It's not a banyan tree. I don't know what tree is that.
Okay.
It could have been a banyan tree, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I
Tell me
remember-
about the tiffin box. Now, is this like a metal tiffin box with like 3 compartments? Like, is it like a proper Tamil style?
No. It wasn't...
Your grandparents are from Madurai. You grew up eating rasam, but you also grew up in Singapore. So tell me what kind of
It wasn't like
home-cooked food are we talking
It wasn't like
about?
a tiffin carrier.
Okay.
I remember very well because tiffin carriers were not that popular.
Was not cool.
Was not popular in the 80s. It wasn't that popular.
Okay.
It was like a Tupperware
Okay.
containers kind of a thing, if I'm not wrong. So that's how the food will come.
All right.
But the standard food is very simple. It's either a curry or sambar or something like that with rice and some vegetables or meat.
Okay.
That's it. Or noodles. Like we
Okay.
do stir-fried noodles, we do fried rice.
Okay.
So this kind of simple stuff that we get to school. And yeah, that's very fond memory of food that is over there. Then obviously my ice cream sandwich is a very fond memory that I do get. After school or even right after, outside the school, there will be uncles in the
There'll be like a
motorcycle
cart. Okay.
ringing the bell. So we used to buy ice cream sandwich or cone ice creams, having it home. Yeah.
So your ice cream sandwich here at the Pandan Club is inspired by something you had when you were as young as
Exactly.
8, 9.
Yeah. So that is an inspiration from what What
was your favorite flavor?
Plain ice cream, vanilla ice cream with raspberry swirl. They call it raspberry twist or raspberry swirl, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And in terms of like savory plates, did you have one comfort food that you'd have your mother or your aunt make you when you were sick, or when you were celebrating, or a celebration day, like
Nandu rasam is my favorite. If I'm sick, Nandu rasam is my favorite.
All right.
Celebrating dishes is biryani. Anytime.
What kind? Now there are so many. How many kinds of biryanis would you
my
say there are?
mom makes her own version of biryani.
Okay.
In our household, we do something like a dum biryani.
Okay.
With layers of meat, but cooked meat with gravy, layers of
long grain or short grain?
Long grain.
Okay.
We always use long grain, but we also use pandan leaf and lemongrass in our biryani.
So this is okay. So it's not an Indian biryani.
It's our family biryani.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So it's aromatic. You've got the.
You have the masalas all gone into the chicken.
So is it like a North Indian style or a South Indian style?
It's more to the South Indian style. The curries are based on South Indian style curries.
Okay.
Then when we toss, we will pan fry the rice with all the aromats. So you have pandan leaf, lemongrass, ginger, garlic, onion, name it. And ghee also. We toss. Then we layer it with the rice and the meat. Then we will finish it off on the top with saffron and milk.
Okay.
And we'll cover and we'll dump it.
And what's on the side? Raita, and you've got the brinjal side, or you've got
we don't do much brinjal on the side.
Okay.
But ours is the cucumber and carrot raita.
Okay.
At home, we don't do the onion raita. Onion raita is not very. I think it's very common in Chennai.
Yeah, it's very common.
But cucumber and carrot raita is very common in my household.
Okay.
And we also do dalcha.
Okay.
So dalcha is a very Muslim thing. Lentils with meat.
Okay, so that's on the side.
No, it's a gravy.
All right.
So we will have our biryani rice, we have dalcha, and we will have raita.
On that note, I'm sure Pandan Club is your favorite restaurant in Chennai. But what is your second favorite?
Okay, I love my South Indian cuisine. So Aman Mess is one of my favorite go-to place when it comes to a proper non-veg South Indian food. There's another one also which caught me by surprise was a very old Japanese restaurant called Dahlia. That's also another one that I was shocked to have that kind of Japanese food here. Then you have your standard idli dosas and everything that I go for. And I'm still trying to look for a good burger joint here.
Okay. All right, I'll give you some
if you can recommend
suggestions off camera.
I've been 1 month away from home.
Right.
I would like to go and try some nice.
But it seems from your descriptions that you like small places that specialize. You're not going for the fancy 5 stars, actually. No, that's not your speed. Okay.
But the funny thing is, I cook those kind of food for customers. Right. But when I want to go out and eat, I like to go for hole in the wall kind of small places, street food. Where the soul is there.
Yeah, small menu but big flavors.
Big flavors, yes.
Yeah. All right, some quick questions.
Yes.
These are going to be some fast ones.
Yeah.
Now you've got 2 boys. How old are they?
16 and 14.
Okay. And do either of them want to follow in your footsteps, be a chef?
I'm not sure. My elder one, he loves eating. So I don't know, he might become a food critic one day. I'm not sure. But I don't enforce anything on the kids' career or choice of education. It's what they enjoy doing, let them do. Ryan, my second boy, he was on Junior MasterChef.
Oh, okay.
So he likes cooking, more into baking and all that. So yeah, if he wants to do it, I will encourage him.
All right.
Or if he wants to take over my business also, I don't mind. Take over. I will retire early.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Now you travel a lot. You're constantly making plans, changing plans.
Yep.
And you want to have businesses in different parts of the world. You've actually told me about this before. Tell me about the most bizarre find in terms of food from your travels.
Asia in general, you get a lot of bizarre stuff. Like Vietnam, you get you get snakes and all those stuff. Thailand, you get some weird insects and all that.
But this has got to be something that you've consumed.
Yeah, I've consumed everything.
Oh. So what's bizarre for you? And please describe it in great detail.
I didn't really enjoy eating it was the duck egg with the embroids and everything. It's literally like a
duck egg.
It's how to say?
Was it poached?
It's boiled.
Okay.
But you have that body in the egg. Means it's like almost forming.
I don't know how to react to this, okay?
So
and how
it's like
does
a
it
delicacy.
does it come with rice? Is it by itself?
By itself. It's like a delicacy in certain countries.
Okay.
I remember, if I'm not wrong, I had it in Philippines. But I didn't enjoy that. One look, I was feeling taken aback. But the moment I tried, I said, nah, it's not for me.
Anything that you like that comes to mind that you'd go and have again?
Oh, a lot of food. Anytime I go to Thailand, that simple papaya salad, I will go for any time of the day.
Okay.
Singapore, if I go, char kway teow, without fail. I have my favorite spot to go to, so I go there.
What does frog taste like?
Sorry, frog?
Frog, yeah.
Frog tastes like chicken.
Just like
the chicken. It looks like a proper white meat, so you can have it with congee, or have it fried, or have it sauteed with oyster sauce. It tastes exactly like chicken. Even crocodile meat tastes like chicken.
Really?
Yeah. Crocodile meat is a very lean piece of meat, thinly sliced, stir fry. Very nice.
Okay.
I can go on a lot about weird animals, but I might get into trouble with the law, so I don't talk so much about it. In certain countries, they don't allow you to eat certain things.
Alright, moving on. Do you watch reality cooking shows? Do you consume Instagram recipe reels? Like, what do you like to consume?
Not really. I don't really follow any Instagram reels or reality shows. MasterChef, I watch, but that is family. But other than that, I don't really watch any other shows to get ideas. But instead, I like to read cookbooks.
Okay.
Especially old cookbooks, which gives you in-depth knowledge on cooking methods and flavors. Because nowadays the cookbooks are good, but it's more on presentation, plating, and colors and all those stuff. Basic. They try to go a bit more simplified version for everybody to understand.
Right.
Whereas the old school cookbooks are a lot more in-depth. So I like the older cookbooks.
Is there anything that you've tried recently that you came across in terms of any form of content that you've tried in a dish, like a trend or like a unique ingredient or a unique technique? Once I saw a video of you just using ketchup, I think, in chicken curry, was it? I'm not sure.
Ketchup I use in chicken curry because we do a dish with soy sauce or ketchup also. Even here also there is a red curry made up with ketchup and chili. So I do use a lot of. I like to use fruits in curries nowadays. So that is something that I've been working with. Lychee duck, something that I love doing it. Watermelon and squid. Fruit.
I really enjoyed the watermelon and potato salad on the menu.
Yeah.
It's always watermelon and feta. It was really nice.
It's a different take on fruits, and it's something very refreshing.
Right.
Especially for like a humid country like Chennai.
Right.
The moment you come in, you want something fresh.
Right.
Then after that, you can start.
Then you can start sort of really digging into the menu.
So I'm working with fruits a fair bit nowadays. Yeah.
What's on your playlist?
I don't have a playlist.
Not big on music?
No, I'm not big on music, but I like Ilayaraja songs.
Okay.
I like the 80s and 90s songs from Ilayaraja.
And when is this playing? When you're in
my car.
Okay.
In my car, I have that playlist, and I used to do a lot of R&B music in my younger days. So I still love my MC Hammer, my Vanilla Ice, and all this stuff. But the new age music, I'm not following any particular genre.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite drink with an Asian twist? Could be on this menu. Could be something that you plan to add to the menu. It just could be something you came across.
Chendol is my favorite.
Okay.
And that is an inspiration what you're drinking now.
Okay.
Called
Tell us.
Rich Baba.
Okay.
So Chendol is usually a simple coconut drink with palm sugar and pandan jelly. It's easily available in Malaysia and Singapore. Anytime on a hot day with a meal, that is so refreshing.
Okay.
Yeah, but we make it like a slush.
Okay.
But over there, it gets with crushed ice and yum. So
Sounds delicious. All right. Last question. You ready?
yes.
Okay. What's your dream dish and who would you like to share it with?
I need to travel to consume that food. Or I need to go somewhere only to get the food.
And it could be as crazy as you want it to be, because remember, time and money are not limits here. This is whatever you want. This is like your genie in a bottle.
Oh my God. What am I want to consume?
You know,
Like
like
you get everything nowadays, yeah? Like if I want a high-end lobster or you want a you can still get it, but it's a dying trade. They make this glutinous rice, like a cake kind of a thing.
okay,
They'll cut it into small pieces and toss it with peanut
okay.
and sugar. I used to have it as a kid. And
And who would make it for you?
no, it's only the Chinese community that makes it.
Okay.
It's like a
Alright.
Chinese thing. And as a kid, you will go down and you will buy, it's very cheap. You will get it for 10 cents, 20 cents, a small box, and you will use a toothpick to consume it.
Do you remember the name?
No, I can't remember the Chinese name for it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a glutinous rice thing.
and is this like deep fried? Is it crunchy?
It's,
Is it-
how they do is they cook the glutinous rice flour, cook it down until it gets nice and thick and kluggy, and they will add some oil to keep it
right.
nice and greased. So then they will cut it into whatever piece they want. Then they'll cut into small pieces, and they will toss it with peanut and sugar.
Wow, it sounds very sort of like addictive. Like keep
It's very addictive. You
popping
can
in.
go on and on. And it's a dying trade now. Not many people are doing it at the moment. And I would love to bring my kids and make them try all that stuff.
You know, I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
All right, okay, so let's go to the second part of the question. Now, who would you like to share this with?
My family. I like to travel with my family.
Okay,
Like my wife and my 2 boys.
okay.
We are a team when it comes to traveling.
All right,
All of them love eating,
all right.
love trying new stuff. They will never say no to anything.
Is there anybody that you, like if you were to think of someone who's not easy to access, right?
Uh-huh.
Could be dead or alive. Could be someone who, you know, is a mentor, a celebrity, somebody you grew up reading about, but someone who's not a phone call away.
I will bring my history teacher, Mr. Hubert, for that. To a certain extent, what I'm doing now is because of him. Yeah.
Mr. Huben,
Hubert Yoganan.
Mr. Hubert.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Malayali man, Mr. Hubert Yoganan. I would have gone into a different path as a child, as a kid, as a teenager. He pulled me back where I am right now.
Okay, Mr. Hubert, we hope you're listening.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's my last question. I actually want to try this dream dish now. I'm salivating a little bit.
I will get the name for you. I can't really remember the name of the dish. But I can find out
But
for you.
it sounds really fun and simple. And
It's a very simple
and
dish, but
delicious.
it's very addictive. And yeah, a lot of Asians or Singaporean Malaysian kids, even now you can still get it, but it's a dying dish. Yeah.
All right. With that, I say cheers.
Thank
you
you.
so much. It's been fun.
I'm sure you're enjoying that rich baba of ours.
Yes, and it's been such a great conversation. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll see you next week. Bye bye.